The new Divinity trailer isn't just dark fantasy. It is proof that the system is completely broken. So today we're going to talk about the Game Awards 2025 reveal of Divinity. Basically, it was the trailer that was just, I think, it went too far. I'm just here with my wife, Sky.
Hello, thanks for having me today.
So we're going to discuss why we think this went too far and why it is extremely problematic, in my opinion, and why I think that we are getting just a little too desensitized to creating imagery that is this extreme for video games. Basically, if you've all seen the trailer, it goes into all sorts of things from gruesome, it's very gruesome, it's very violent in a sense. They're torturing a man, making it seem like it's no big deal. There's a cult, there's everything from sex to vomit to very disturbing imagery. And then, of course, he is burned alive through this thing, and it is absolutely horrific.
Yeah, I was actually really horrified by it. And I mean, this was not the first kind of gross trailer in a way that they showed at the Game Awards. And we're getting used to a lot of stuff. I'm noticing over the past couple years, things have been getting like more extreme, pushing the limits with every trailer that we see. A lot of trailers are starting to look alike, even for some of these games, especially horror games. And I do have to mention, I have a strong stomach for this kind of stuff. Like, I play Resident Evil, I'm familiar with this whole series. I played and loved Bloodborne and all these, like, somehow little, like, more extreme horror like games and stuff. I'm like no one who has never played any like horror games or anything like that. And still, this trailer gave me a feeling in my gut that I am surprised not more people are talking about this. Even friends and stuff, when I heard their like feedback on it, everyone was really hyped about the game, which I of course understand. It's a big studio, great with great games like Baldur's Gate 3, of course, was a absolutely amazing game that I played a lot as well.
Yes.
And no one was really talking about this trailer and how extreme that was and what kind of feeling it gave me. And I actually had to stand up in the middle of it and go out of the room. Like, that has never really happened before. I can't remember anything like that where this has happened to me in that way.
Yeah, I think that the thing too about it is it's trying to be edgy in a lot of these games coming out, especially with horror games. Like, it's got to be the grossest it is, gore and horror. It's just, how much flesh can we stretch? How much blood can we add to something? It is absolutely horrific, and it's just kind of at the point where it loses its horror value and just becomes something that makes you feel kind of nauseous. So people would say, like, are they trying to be mature, with this, or is this only a game for adults? But then in the actual trailer, there are children in it, and that's what makes this like extra disturbing. Is that people are bringing their children to come and watch this horrific event, and the kids are all excited for it, like they're about to watch like a Disney movie. It's just, you know what I mean? It just doesn't make any sense. It's very horrifying, and it's the disturbing. It's to make you kind of feel so disturbed that it questions all your moral values, like everything you've ever believed in, and that's just messing with a part of the mind that I think just isn't right. It's not what I think video games should be representing in any way. And then what the next murder that happens down the street, guess what the news is going to blame? Video games again. Divinity 2 was excellent. Divinity 1, I played a Baldur's Gate and stuff. Absolutely fantastic games. They'd never crossed this line, and this was big.
No, they did. I know they had some like definitely more mature, more extreme topics in that as well. I remember in Baldur's Gate at the beginning, where you are on the ship, and the first thing that's kind of being shoved in your face is this dude with his head open and his brain is talking to you and stuff. And yeah, that gave me a little bit of a feeling as well, but just because I have like I don't know, a history of like being afraid of organs and all that stuff. But even that was fine. It was fine. Actually, they made it kind of humorous as well, and then they turned the brain into some kind of cute companion, which I thought
That
was
was a little
hilarious.
disturbing.
It was a little disturbing, hilarious. So it's not like the first time that they're trying to push the boundaries a little or go into more extreme or taboo kind of topics. But with all these games, I could stomach it really well. Something about this, though, made me feel absolutely just extremely nauseating. When you just watch the trailer again, I couldn't watch it. I could not look on the screen. I have it like burned in my mind. It's almost like a traumatic experience, to be honest. And yeah, I was really surprised that nobody else really was talking about this or mentioning how shocking and how extreme this is.
And then you have the hypocrisy, of course. Like if there was a studio that was basically doing this and they weren't a AAA studio, would they be able to get away with something like this? And that's my question. I'm a game developer. I've worked in games. Do a lot of concept art and things like that. And I've had my game studios that I've worked for ask for some really gruesome looking things, and I've done them. But this isn't just about the gore or the gruesomeness of it. There's a feeling that comes with this. It's sort of like challenging your morals, and I think that because this studio is a AAA studio, they're really pushing it now after Baldur's Gate and all that. They really succeeded heavily in that, and I think now I don't know what their message is in this, but I think. Are they trying to be the most talked about game by showing that they didn't show us anything that was actually
Not
of
really.
value,
Exactly. That's what I
about the
mean too.
game?
There is not a plot, there is not a background, not many information about any game details or anything. It was just trying to like top itself with every
Yeah.
kind of second of the game, and this kind of, I feel like, is starting to like become so normalized, which is kind of scary to me in a way. I have to say,
Yeah.
because as I said, this is not the first trailer in the Game Awards 2 that was a kind of gross and horror like, but even those usually at least had a somewhat of a plot to it, some kind of like sense behind what you're doing in that game, what that game is trying to achieve and stuff. This one, however, I don't know, was just heavily celebrated for I don't know what reason. Apart from the game, of course, I have to point out here, it's not about that. I want to say the game is horrible, the game is bad. We haven't even seen
Yeah,
anything
we don't
about
know
it.
anything about it.
Exactly. I'm like, actually, I mean, I love Baldur's Gate 3 so much that I would definitely play this, but this actually scared me away a little from it. So,
Yeah, I think that it's not going to attract as many people that it did for Baldur's Gate, and I don't know who they're trying to pitch this to, but it's also just not sending a good message. Humanity is being desensitized to this kind of visual,
yep.
disturbing imagery. It's almost like it's bringing out the worst part of us and making certain people crave this kind of visual stimulation. I'm not like against, of course, gruesome stuff being in video games or whatever. I mean, they've been pretty gruesome for a long time.
Obviously.
Yeah. But the problem is that it's not just about the gruesomeness. I mean, this thing was showing things like sex. It was showing like stuff that, I don't know, like some people had their kids with them when they were watching the Game Awards.
Vomit and all that. Things that people have strong phobias about
Phobia,
too.
yeah.
Like, I don't know anymore how the fear of throwing up and vomit is called, but I know that this is a really big issue for some of people, and seeing this like unwarned, they didn't even have kind of a trigger warning or anything,
Yeah,
right?
no trigger
No,
warnings. But
no.
that's the thing. That's the point. That's
That's
the
the next
whole,
thing.
that's the whole,
Kind of wished for that.
that's what they're trying to achieve, Like they want to shock, it's the shock
It's
value.
completely a shock
Yeah,
value, and this is why the whole game and everything is being talked about a lot.
But this is what makes it so gimmicky, is that they're using this shock value to try to sell their game and get people talking about it. And that I think is not right. What happens if every game starts doing this? It's almost going to lose its entire personality. It loses its uniqueness. Everything has to be so gross, so disturbing now that it's almost like we're going to surround ourselves with it. Not all of us want this. A lot of us just want a cozy RPG, or something that has like more like an Elder Scrolls vibe, like it doesn't need to be. And do they need to really do this? The Larian Studios, like they already succeeded heavily, which is Baldur's Gate. They are a AAA game studio. They don't need to use this kind of imagery to sell their games. I mean, unless their games are going to be crappy from here on out.
Yeah, that is the question. If they keep pushing and pushing and pushing, or other video game studios jump on that as well, the question in the end is, how far can this even go?
Yeah, what next? My studio came up to me and asked me to create this crap, I would be like, I quit and I'm gonna go work at some other studio. This is why the gaming industry is starting to become more like a marketing gimmick by triggering every single one of our fears, phobias, and trauma. It's not about being like, oh, if you're weak or not, to handle these kind of things.
At the end, I just kind of want to know if anyone else out there has felt like this. I haven't really seen anything or anyone pointing this out yet. That's why we wanted to talk about that. And so, yeah, let us know in the comments, definitely, if we're the only ones here.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm gonna make a lot of people mad up in here. I can feel that already. But look, I know you're saying, oh, just don't play it if you don't want to play it, if you can't handle it. But it's more about, yeah, I'm probably not going to play it. That's going to be my thing, unless they can prove to me that it's not just going to be nothing but blood, gore, sex, vomit, and death or whatever, and torture. That's just those kind of things. I don't want to see that. That was absolutely horrific. But this, I mean, I don't know. I feel like we're not alone in this. I think a lot of people were more disturbed than they want to admit. And I feel like people are afraid to talk about that and afraid to admit that, yeah, this triggered something in me I just don't feel comfortable with. And you know what? I ain't spending, what is it, like $90 nowadays on these games? Like, why do I want to pay all that money to have, I'm going to just wait for Elder Scrolls 6 to come out. Like, I'm not waiting for this crap to come out. I don't want to play this when Elder Scrolls will be coming. I'll save my money for the collector's edition of the new Elder Scrolls.
That's right.
I think they crossed the line, and you can argue with me about it all you want, but hey, I'm just saying, as I've been playing games for most of my life, I'm 42. I played all kinds of games, horror, RPGs, shooter games, whatever you name it. I've been around, but this was probably the most disturbing game I've ever seen played at, especially a game awards show,
Yeah.
and yeah, there's been some pretty gross stuff out there, but this was messed up. This was just like mentally disturbing more than it was even visually disturbing. There was something about it that really wasn't right. So,
That's right.
anything else you want to say?
I completely agree to that. Same with me. Been playing all kinds of games and all genres and whatever, and this is absolutely so far the, how do you say that? The top of the cake? No.
Oh yeah,
the cherry on top.
the cherry,
The cherry
yeah,
on
the
top.
cherry on top. Mhm.
And yeah, with that, let me know what you think. It is an opinion.
Yeah, it's an opinion. You can't be all like, oh, you're so weak, can't handle it. No, actually, you can't also get offended and be all weak about what I'm saying either, because everybody's got their right to their opinions. Thank you very much. And anyway, I hope you all enjoy the show and keep watching. I have some more opinions to share, and some of you might not like that. We'll talk more. And thanks for joining me. So yeah, that was disgusting.